Hello, everybody. How are you? It's time for another consumer video for San Jose. In this case, we're talking about the five worst landscapers. And in many parts of San Jose, the grip, if you want to call it that, of winter is ebbing. Although, of course, in California, it doesn't grip like the Midwest. But nonetheless, people don't realize it gets cold, rainy, and wet, and wainy in San Jose. But once spring comes, people's thoughts turn to green lawns and spiffy landscaping. So let's look at five of the worst landscape companies in town. Guys, you're going to want to avoid them. The first one is Fight Landscaping Company. Now, the way they position themselves is they tell you, we're going to fight the bugs, we're going to fight the pesticides, we're going to fight the weeds, and so that you have a beautiful green, bountiful garden, beautiful green lawn, because we fight for you. Well, that is great until it comes time to pay the bill. Then you have to fight for the overcharges. And let me ask you this. If you got a bill from a landscaping company that included 14 cases of beer, 28 orders from Chick-fil-A, 41 orders from Chipotle, and $192,000 from the local strip club, would you be paying that bill for the staff, the workers of the landscaping company? No, you would not. You would say, you'd say, listen, buddy, I already have my own bills from Chipotle, from Chick-fil-A, and other businesses in town. I don't need to pay yours. So I'm going to tell you guys to avoid Fight. That's the name of the landscaping company, Fight Landscaping, the number one on our list of the five worst landscapers in San Jose. Now, the number two is Unhealthy Landscaping. Unhealthy Landscaping markets themselves as so into landscaping. They're so interested and spend so much time and thought about servicing your yard, your bushes, your trees, your landscaping, that they don't even eat right, guys. So they say, we're unhealthy. We don't look good. We're probably overweight a little bit from not eating the right things. But that's because we're thinking about your business. We're thinking about your lawn. And I mean, it's I gotta admit, I've never heard of that angle before. And when they come over, they look like they advertise. They look like they perhaps need to skip some meals, cut back on starches, cut back on carbs, and maybe eat a few more fruits and vegetables. That's what I would say. So because I don't want that influence in my house, I'm just going to have to say no, guys. Now, number three on our list is Sleepy Landscaping. They're going to be right in downtown Jose. Give them a call. Give them a stop by. I mean, the thing about all of these places, it's my opinion, guys. You might want to give them your own try. So when I walk into Sleepy, this is exactly what I expected to find. I thought they were going to be, asleep, but they weren't. It was the exact opposite. Guys are running around. I've never seen so much energy in a landscaping company. The phone's ringing. I'm like, yeah, wow, this place is popping and hopping. And it turns out, guys, it's not what it looks like, because the reason that they're so hyped up is that these are all kids that used to work at a rock concert company. And they pretend that they're at a concert at all times. And so you have people jumping off the desks as if they're at a rave. They're running around as if they're in the mosh pit, slamming into each other like it's a big combination of, a punk rock show and a long-haired hippie rock show, a combination. The flashing lights, the loud music. So, guys, I honestly, I'd rather find a place that is a little more restful. So, I'm gonna say, avoid Sleepy Landscaping right in downtown San Jose. Now, out on the south edge of town, guys, you're going to run into Dig Landscaping. Now, I thought, well, this makes sense because a landscaping company digs a lot. They're going to be doing work in your garden if you, depending on the services that you order, and work out with them. So it makes it a good name for a landscaping company. However, the way they implement the name of their company is they tell their workers, when you go to the client's house, just agree with them on everything because they want it to be positive. Now they tell them to offer smart advice, but agree with their feelings, because you can't argue. If a homeowner says to you, I don't like the way this looks, if you say, oh, you're wrong, well, that's not constructive, because how can you argue with somebody's feeling on how they perceive it? That's the way they see it, and they're the client. So your job as the landscaper, this is how they train their employees. Your job as the landscaper is to understand what they're saying and then work with that, which is all good. But what they tell them is just say, hey, I dig it. Just say, I dig it. That's how they train their employees to agree with the client. Client says, you know what? I do not like the way my bushes look. I believe there should be a little bit farther away from the walls of my house. Plus, it'll create more of a fire break. And then the employee is supposed to say, I dig it, ma'am. I dig it. Now, even that, as cornball as that is, would still work. But if they did it once in a while. But the problem is they come out of the truck going, I dig it. I dig it. We dig it. When there's more than two of them, they're like, we dig it. I dig it. And they're singing. And they're kind of doing this little shuffle walk as they come up to your house. So then in addition to the song, they start saying it every 10 words, guys. It just gets really annoying. And after a while, you're like, well, I would dig it if you guys just vamoosed, So there you go. Now, the next one and a final one on our list is Sweet Landscaping. Now, Sweet Landscaping is a company on the far north side of Jose, and what they'll offer you is at every transaction, every interaction, they're going to provide candy. And the problem, though, is in a long job, and I'm talking about a 3-month job, you might be talking to them, interacting with them on a daily, maybe twice, maybe 3 times a day, depending on the details of your job. And guys, when you're offered candy 3 times a day, I don't know about you, but I'm going to take it, okay? I'm going to take that candy. I'm going to eat those butterscotch drops. I'm going to eat those peppermints. I'm going to eat that candy corn they have left over from Halloween. I'm going to eat all the sweets. And the problem is I had a 3-month job with these guys, and they did a good job, but I gained 75 pounds. And frankly, I wasn't all that healthy to begin with. So if you can handle that, if you're more disciplined and you still like to have an occasional sweet, maybe it's for you. I have no discipline, and working with those guys put my heart rate up 75 points and added... put me, I was already in the government's obese designation. If you look at body fat content recommendations by the CDC. And then after this company left, I ate so many candy drops, so many gum drops, so many candies that you might see typically at the movie theater, right? I had so many vines, right, over 3 months that the CDC listed me as not living. So, but I'm here. Apparently I just test as not actually alive. So for that reason, I mean, you might have a different opinion, but for that reason, I'm going to have to say a no-go. So, guys, those are the 5 worst landscaping companies in San Jose. At least that's my list. You might have a different opinion. Go ahead and leave a comment with it. Or if you know a really good one, leave a comment on that too. Because when you do, guys, you help the whole community lift and grow together. Talk to you soon.